Probably should. Do. All right. You ready to rock and roll, man?
If we have to.
That sounded rough.
It's been a rough life.
Yeah, that's true. What can you do?
Not a thing. All right. 3, 2, 1. Action. No free sponsors. What is up, guys? This is Deke and Greg back with 2 beers deep. Our court-mandated therapy session that we just talk sports and hang out. And I'm going to fix the camera real quick before anyone gets in here because it's tilted.
Tilted only slightly, man. It's not too bad.
So you saw it.
That is true. I mean, I saw it, but I was also pouring my beer at the time, which by the way, this is something that we're unfortunately going to be doing now is until we get our beer sponsor, we're not going to be showing cans anymore. So we got these nice little glasses that are actually pretty dope, actually.
Hello to Ryan Votash. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Vo.
Yeah, so you'll see us pour the beer into things because no free sponsors.
But you
Votash will get that reference.
You will not see the actual beer maker, though.
Oh, man. So, okay, Greg, so we're going to touch on this last, but I would like to say congratulations. We made it this far. Football's back.
Yep, we have.
I think that's like the greatest thing on the planet right now.
Oh, God, it feels amazing. Like, I last week when we did this was when the Hall of Fame game was going on.
Move the mic out of your face.
Why?
Look at his look like.
Why?
It's just
Why?
weird.
Dude, we made the big deal that, like, we're trying to hide my ugly face, remember?
Okay.
Yeah, come on. What's wrong with that?
Okay. All right. So, yeah, no, you were saying football back. Good.
Football back. We got a little sneak peek of it last week when it was the Hall of Fame game, which, by the way...
Which was good in my mind because that meant football's back.
Yeah.
Like, training camp, nah. The fact that someone took an NFL snap, regardless of when or where it is or how it is, that's the moment where I'm like, oh, football's back. But
there's only so much that I can follow when it comes to training camp outside of my own team.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I can do that.
Because, like, us being Steeler fans, like, I can literally go through hours upon end just reading on about what's going on at camp. Like, I'll look on Twitter and I'll see stuff from Alex Kazor. Shout out to Steelers Depot, by the way. Just doing stuff about 7 shots and about how
Alex is I remember I went to high school with Alex, and he is the only guy that I trust at minicamp with everything. And I will say right now, like, he is the smartest sports mind I think I've ever met, and that takes a lot for me to say.
Because you know a lot of them, by the way.
Well, yeah, like it's not even about knowing them. It's like being kind of a jag-off and thinking you're the better of the all of them. No, Alex is genius. Alex is always at the mini camps. Alex kills it at the mini camps.
Oh, God, yeah.
Alex Kazor, shout out to you. He did. I just like he was talking about. I think Antonio Brown went and did like 260 reps on the jug machine after practice and did 60 of them one-handed. Like, those are the kind of stats that
wait, he did 60 of them one-handed.
He did 60 catches on a jug machine one-handed at
that's
practice.
impressive.
And that's the kind of things that I can't tell you that. You know what I mean? These are weird stats that Alex is there at minicamp killing it for it.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice to also hear about guys that you don't really kind of gravitate towards when you think of the elite players that are going to make a difference, but it's also at the same time, like, you look at training camp and you see guys who are essentially could have a big role. There are also guys that when
like
you
Bucky Hodges.
Yeah. Like Bucky Hodges, yeah. We literally just got him like a week ago.
So in case you don't know, the Steelers signed tight end Bucky Hodges. He might not mean anything if you don't care.
Not a lot of people will, but still.
I can hear you. No, so Bucky Hodges was a guy that signed with, or he got drafted by the Vikings.
I think he was a 7th rounder, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't that late.
Thought he was.
I don't know. He was a prospect out of Virginia Tech that was a quarterback, and then he switched over to tight end, killed it. He was one of my top 5 tight ends in that draft. Big guy, big size, and we signed him, and he is, in my mind, the best talent on our depth chart.
That's saying a lot, by the way, because I've always been a big fan of Xavier Grimble.
Thank you for your comment, Mike. Alex knows all when it comes to Steelers. That's literally – I couldn't have said it better. It's super weird because Alex is a genius with everying like that. So it's so cool to say, like, oh, yeah. Like, he answered a tweet once, and I was like, I'm kind of geeking out, but also, like, we're friends in high school, so I shouldn't geek out. But no, Bucky Hodges is the guy I'm excited to see tonight. But let's pass that because we obviously want to save football for the bulk end of it. Because Mike's here, because Mike's participating, let's talk about the transfer window. I will say right now, Mike, AC Milan might be a better club than Man U right now because we didn't do crap.
Wow.
It's annoying to have, like, Forbes list comes out of the most expensive teams in the world, and we're number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Real Madrid would have been 1.
No, we're the top to everything.
Wow.
How annoying is it that we can't spend money on anything? But Everton signs like 72 guys.
Is it literally just because Jose Mourinho is just like extremely picky about who he wants, or is
yes,
it just
yeah,
like,
that's it. Yeah, agreed. It's about the fact that we get a guy, we target the guy. The guy's either in a better situation. So the targets that we did go after, we went after Mina at Barcelona. He signed with Everton. We went after Harry Maguire. I have an insider source that says that Leicester wanted 80 million, and we offered 65, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't enough money for it. So what it comes down to is the fact that Leicester wanted more money for a guy that Manchester United was willing to pay almost more than he's worth. I mean, he just came off an amazing World Cup.
He did.
But the big thing is, like, is he worth that much? Nah.
But we've even talked about this before, that the World Cup is essentially like the big event where prices usually just kind of get inflated.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's on that world stage and just everyone sees how well you do.
I mean, has James Rodriguez done a single thing since the World Cup that got him the contract? No.
Fuck no.
Got a DUI.
James Rodriguez he's not a bad player, but at the same time, though, he wasn't worth that massive transfer that Monaco made out like crazy on that deal.
Yeah, so what'd Southampton do, Greg? Because Greg is, if you don't know, a Southampton fan because it is the safest fan base in the world.
The safest? We almost got relegated last year.
Yeah, but the whole point is, like, no one's ever going to be mad at you. Because all you do is sell your best players. No one's like, oh, I hate Southampton. It's just like, oh, that's a team.
We made an interesting move today, actually. We got some striker depth down there. Got Danny Ings from Liverpool.
Oh, actually,
yeah,
know that name. That's impressive.
He's our third striker now behind Charlie Austin and Manolo Gabardini. I'm excited to see how they.
I like Charlie Austin a lot, actually.
I like Danny Ings. He barely got any playing time the last 3 years, but then again, that was mostly because of injury. And even Jurgen Klopp said he was kind of sad to let him go, but it was a good move. He was.
Whatever. Out of here. All right.
You're such a hater.
It's. Like you said, you almost got relegated.
Did.
Let's get over to NBA. I don't really have much other transfer window talks. I mean, we struck out on every single guy we tried to get. We had Godin's. We triggered Godin's release clause today, and he told us he didn't want to leave, and the team was just basically like, we'll pay him whatever it is to stay. So I want to get out. I don't want to talk about soccer.
Well, let's at least kind of do this though, real quick. I mean, Premier League officially starts tomorrow. Man U.
Oh, we're gonna beat Leicester.
Man U and Leicester.
I hope they score 7 goals, and each one of them is because Harry Maguire messes up. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I love you, Harry Maguire.
Yeah. Well, I hope so too, because I have Marcus Rashford and Jesse Lingard playing in my fantasy league
Marcus
this
Rashford
week.
is like one of the best players in the BPL.
Yeah.
And what it comes down to is that he's a young talent. And it was funny because I don't remember the manager's name, but there was a manager who said that Jose Mourinho is bad for Marcus Rashford because all Jose wants to do is win.
Right.
And the manager that criticized him went 0-7 for Everton and got sacked. And that was his only Premier League stint.
Really?
And Mourinho goes, oh, yeah, if he's playing for me, he wants to win. Well, if he goes and plays for him, he can learn how to lose. So that's a good transition. I like Jose Mourinho. I think he's being kind of a jag-off.
Oh, I do too.
I like him a lot. But Serie A is not the new top league, Mike. That is the dumbest thing you've ever said.
No. So okay,
just because I got Ronaldo.
Okay, so Premier League officially kicks off tomorrow. It is easily the most popular league in the world, and I consider the best league in the world. To be honest with you, it's the best from top to bottom. It's competitive.
I would say it's getting to the point where it's no longer competitive top to bottom, and that's because of the top heavy teams. But at the same time, Mike, I will say one thing: Italian league used to be the greatest league on the planet back in the day of Clarence Seedorf, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Inter Milan, AC Milan, the good things. There is not a team outside of Juventus in the Italian league that can touch Bayern, that can touch Dortmund, that can touch Real Madrid, that can touch Barcelona, that can touch Chelsea, Inter, that can touch Liverpool, Man U, PSG. There just isn't. You know what I mean? It's just flat out. There are not enough guys in the Italian league to combat any other team. And that's just what it is. It's name value.
No, that's a fair point. But I wanted to get your opinion on this though. I'm not going to ask for who you are saying is your favorite to win the league this year. I'm not gonna
Man U,
like, obviously, but
who do I see winning it?
Okay, I'm not even gonna go that round. Who are you saying is your top 4 this year?
Oh,
yeah, top 4. Make it simple for that.
I mean, twisting my arm, I'm going flat out. I'm going City, United, Tottenham, and Chelsea.
Is that your order?
No, or in
we
order.
We don't have to make it in order. I'm just asking, like, of the 4, who would you say are going to get there?
Honestly, I think it's City's year again. They retain the entire team. But it's that 4 for me. I think United is fine. I think, like, we don't. The big discretion is that if you don't sign someone, you're a terrible club. No, we just we had a chance to get better defensive players, and we didn't. Very simple. We're still a sound club, still solid, still have a lot of offensive pressure, still amazing in the midfield. So when it looks at it as that whole, Tottenham didn't make a move either, but Tottenham is also a young, talented, hungry team.
Very young.
Check me here at the door. I'm a Man U fan. I don't think Liverpool was that great. I think Liverpool had a good year, and I enjoy their signings, but I don't think they're that great.
I think it's going to take a while to get their legs under them because of the fact that they went on such a long season.
Yeah. I mean,
plus they weren't used to like the run that they had in Champions. Because I will be the first to admit that they got lucky.
Yeah,
I'm sorry they did.
Well, and it comes down to the fact that like people are picking the Premier League's best player to go to Salah. And don't get me wrong, Mohamed Salah had a great year.
He did.
Mohamed Salah was one of the best players on the planet.
Came out of nowhere, actually, when you think about it.
Oh, yeah, that's my point, though. When it brings up the fact that Mohamed Salah had to move around forever to get to a point of coming in with Liverpool and doing well, like he got kicked out of Chelsea, got kicked out of a couple teams like Atletico.
Yeah.
Or not Atletico, Roma. He's not gonna do that again. He isn't. Yeah. Teams are ready for him now. Teams want him. And it's literally like, look at Jamie Vardy at Leicester. Obviously, Liverpool and Leicester are very different teams. Jamie Vardy and Salah are very different players.
Right.
But my point is, when a guy kind of comes out of nowhere like that, he's set for a regression. He just is.
Vardy kind of, technically played better because of the system that they ran with the counterattacks.
Agreed. So Salah was counterattack. Him and Mane counterattack, very driven.
That's true. Okay, so no, that's a solid top four. I would kind of go that way too because the way I look at it, I see Liverpool taking a while to get their legs under them, and Arsenal, I don't even know what to say about them. They're like, it's
for the first time in my life they look like a different Arsenal.
Yeah, because Arsene Wenger's not there.
Yeah, they actually got a good looking team. We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be an interesting season, and then I can't wait.
Obviously, the biggest news that's come recently this will be the last thing we touch on with this. Thibaut Courtois gone. He's at Real Madrid now. So Chelsea signs the Spanish backup of De Gea as a belong name. I don't exactly know.
For what was it, 80 mil?
80 mil record, yeah.
Was it more than?
Do you know what makes me super mad? Actually,
what?
This whole the fact that a goalkeeper's worth that much means he's better. No. De Gea is leaps and bounds the number one goalkeeper in the BPL. Loris is leaps and bounds the second best goalkeeper in the BPL. It's very simple for me. Like, just because you sign a guy for $80 million doesn't mean he's good. You just sign him for them. Oh, he had a good World Cup and he plays for Brazil. Sergio Aguero plays for Argentina. He had a great World Cup 2 years ago. He's our backup.
Is it wrong for me to kind of say that I feel like it's easier to develop your own goalkeeper than any other position?
Yeah, agreed. 100%. Courtois was developed. De Gea was developed.
Especially coming from you because you used to be a goalkeeper. Wouldn't you say, from your perspective, it's much easier to develop from within than it is to kind of go out and get one?
It's about learning to play with your goalkeepers or whatever it is. But all right, let's get off this. Let's get off soccer. Let's go into you wanted to touch on the NCAA rules that just came out. Which are?
Yeah, the NCAA and NBA essentially, well, more so NCAA, they created a committee, I believe, in the offseason. It was the committee for
committee for bullshit.
Committee for bullshit, yeah, whatever. So they instituted some brand new rules. The main draws that I saw when it actually came out was more so related to the recruiting in the summer.
Yeah.
Which I saw
a ton of agents.
Yeah, a ton of agent stuff, which I'm not going to get into. But the main story that I saw that really caught my eye was the fact that guys who entered the draft and didn't get drafted are now essentially eligible to return to school.
Yeah, and
there are some prerequisites for it, which you actually know more about than I do. But how much of a game changer is this that guys who went to the draft and decided that and weren't good enough to get in can now return?
Well, it's huge, but you got to look at it in the sense of, all right, basically what the rule says is that here's what it is. Say Greg is a 5-star Duke prospect and he's coming out and for some reason he doesn't get drafted, and whether he tears his ACL or something along those lines where he just doesn't get drafted or some shit,
which is some bullshit.
Tubby old me is coming out of Dayton and I'm averaging 12 points a game and I don't get drafted. Basically what it comes down to is that the NCAA and the NBA, basically they can vote on if the player can go back to school without any repercussions.
Okay.
That used to be, if you went to the draft, you could just not come back, and you would have to get an agent and blah blah blah.
You would either go overseas, you could go to the G League. Yeah, it could be a whole
long shot. Though the problem I have with this rule, even though I think this rule is a good step in the right direction, is that everyone should have the eligibility to go back to their school if they went undrafted. You just should. And if the school doesn't want to take you, that's a different conversation. But when it comes down to, like, it doesn't make sense to me that if I'm from Dayton and I'm a good player, but I go to the draft and I go undrafted, and he's from Duke and gets hurt and doesn't get drafted, the NBA can vote. He goes back to school. Basically, what that tells me is the player worth money for the NCAA come March Madness? You know what I mean?
Which is a great way to look at it when you think about it.
Yeah, and like I'm kind of cynical. I'm kind of a jag-off if anyone knows me. So I look at things in a way that's like, all right, like, yeah, that might be a good decision, but how does that benefit you on that backside, if that makes sense? So the rule itself has good spirit. It means well. The rule itself is a good idea. But the problem with it, though, is that the NCAA is the most corrupt thing we've seen in sports. So you're like, they're definitely going around, like, figuring out how it benefits them in ways that we can't even comprehend right now.
Oh, yeah, more money's in the pocket and less money for the players. That's how it works.
Yeah,
that's how it's always going to be. And, yes, I know you. I know how cynical you are when it comes to the NCAA. Most people are. That's completely fair. Just is. I'm just saying.
You can get off my show.
No, I personally think this is a good first step to get to where eventually the NCAA is trying to do. I think this is more of a, I would say this is kind of like a test case to decide, okay, let's wait. Yeah. Let's wait to see the first instance where someone gets voted back in, and we'll see how it works.
Yeah, but no big guy's going to go. Like, all right, who's the guy that got drafted by the Kings? Miles.
Marvin Bagley.
No, not, he had
you sound like Big Dave.
Lord in heaven. He was at Duke. Miles Giles, Harry Giles.
Oh, Harry Giles.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry, Miles and Giles. He had a big injury and basically got drafted by the Kings, obviously, blah, blah, blah. But say no one drafted him.
That's true.
They're bringing him back because he was a #1 prospect coming out of high school, but they wouldn't bring back a kid from West Virginia if he goes on. You know what I mean? It leaves so much gray area that it's a good idea in principle, but the gray area is going to come back and bite the players in the ass.
If student athlete is truly what the whole idea of it is, then essentially they should prioritize guys who are a year away from graduation over guys who are sophomores.
Yeah.
They should.
They're not going to.
They should. That should be
well,
the way
that
it
also
works.
Comes with the fact that in the rule, I think they're going to go to a 2 and done. So if you go to college, you have to play 2 years. But if you go straight to the pros, which is now eventually going to be a thing, you don't have to go to college at all. Obviously, like, they had Devin Booker and Kat on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and they were asking him simple questions, and Devin Booker literally was like, I was in class for 6 months. He was like, I was in class for 6 months. I don't know any of these. I'm like, that dude, like, that guy is going to make more money than I've ever heard of in my life, and I knew the cheat code to Sims growing up. You know what I mean? Like, this dude makes so much money doing something. Why? Like, if he wants to go to college, like, if he wants to be like Dakota Allen, linebacker coming out of Texas Tech, who's the #1 linebacker in the state, but he went back to school because he wants his degree. If you want your degree, absolutely get your degree. But there's certain guys that are like, I don't really need my degree. I'm 7 foot and I can shoot 3-pointers.
Right,
All
which comes back to the thing where I said, like, if the NCAA prioritizes guys who are a year away from getting their degree, I have nothing wrong with it. They're prioritizing guys who are essentially coming back for their sophomore year and want to get some more playing time to be able to impress NBA scouts. That's where the rules flawed.
The other big rule change that happened was so you can get an agent now if you are, quote unquote, an elite level player, and that gets that's another gray area. That's bullshit.
I was gonna say who essentially kind of defines as an elite.
When we were on Twitch,
player.
I could swear.
Yeah.
It's who decides that, and if you get an agent, they have to be licensed through the NCAA and the NBA, which obviously isn't a big deal if you think about it, because the top agents are going to do it. But it could take away from signing with like a family agent or somebody that, like, say you have an agent that you trust growing up or whatever, and then they didn't get licensed by the NCAA because they weren't making enough money and blah blah blah. There's just so many gray areas with these rules that, like, bring a lot of red flags to me, but at the same time, I appreciate the direction it's going, if that makes sense.
Isn't the NCAA just like one giant gray mark?
The NCAA literally was, I'm not even kidding right now. The NCAA's main job is to keep players at an amateur status. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I played NAIA and NCAA. And when it comes down to it, is the NCAA is literally around to keep amateur status for players before they go pro. To make an area, like, it doesn't make sense. So for them to be like, well, let's help the players, I'm like, BS. Like there's something in it for them that we're not seeing yet that eventually we're going to come around and see. Like it adds up that way. That's just how the NCAA's always been. It's just there's something we're not seeing in that sense that we will see in 10 years. We'll be like, wow, we didn't see that coming. Now I got, like
it'll be like a light bulb moment essentially when that happens.
It would be a freaking flamethrower. But all right, let's get off there.
I just want NCAA football back. That's all I want.
Like back the video game?
Yes,
or
back. That's all I want.
All right.
Just leave it at that.
Because I couldn't stop the triple option, so I got pissed off every time.
I couldn't stop Michael Vick and Madden, but that was just me.
All right, let's talk a little bit about golf. So Greg wants to talk about actual golf. I have a funny story about golf, so you tell your actual golf updates.
Which is a good segue.
It actually is a funny story.
It's a good segue. Yeah. So PGA Championship officially started today. After
Tiger shot even.
Tiger did shoot even. Tiger's back. He's only
shoot.
He's 5 back from the leaderboard. That's not too bad. But the story of the tournament so far is that after the first day, Ricky Fowler is in the lead right now at 5 under, which
Puma
is awesome. Ricky Fowler,
it's great. It's
great,
for
fantastic.
Yeah.
Ricky Fowler has not won a major yet. He's always competed. The biggest tournament he's won has been the Players, which is kind of like the 5th unofficial major, I guess. But I want Ricky Fowler to win a major so bad.
Obviously.
He's
bad. He's the guy.
He's great for golf. He really is.
Better for golf than golf is.
What?
He's better for golf than golf is for golf.
Huh. Didn't think of it that way.
That's a real thing. So
lead that into your story.
Looking at actually what happened in golf. Like, yeah, Ricky Fowler's top of the leaderboard, which is great. I'm a huge component. I'm a huge I can't even think of it. I love when guys that are big name golfers are at the top of the leaderboard. I think that's that what that comes down to for me is that more people will view.
Yeah, it draws
when you
more
have
eyeballs.
Spieth and Ricky and Tiger and DJ and these guys at the end of the weekend on Sunday playing for the championship. It has more relevance than anything else in golf.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that.
So the funny story I saw, it was on Bleacher Report today. Basically, there's a golfer named Tommy Fleetwood. He is a very good golfer, very young, up and coming, long locks of beautiful hair. He won $154,000 the last tournament. They gave the money to a gentleman named Tommy Fleetwood in Florida, who is the pro at a course down there. And they just put it into his account, and he tweeted it out. And he was like, this has to be a mistake. Could you imagine $154,000 coming into your account from golf? And he said the reason for the mistake was obviously the same name. He used to be on the tour, and he just applied for the senior tour. But, like, dude, $154,000 just showed up as a wire transfer into his account. Thank God he's a good human, because that could have been terrible. But that is so funny if you think about, like, golf, like, so prim and proper the entire time, like, and they just allowed wearing shorts, which is good. But basically, this is the most like upstanding sport ever in the history of sports, and they paid the wrong guy $154,000. So funny, dude.
First off, I'm just gonna say this right now: I am not a good human being. That would have been gone pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's not my fault.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You put it there. You should know by now. I'm just gonna spend.
Or I'd be like, hey, Tommy, like. Quick 5,000.
Oh yeah, I would totally take 5,000 as a finder's fee.
So the only other part I wanted to bring up before we switch sports is about NBA. I want to backtrack a little bit because I missed the note.
That's true.
I found it absolutely hysterical that the Atlanta Hawks sent Carmelo Anthony a jersey and he didn't play a minute.
I find that hilarious too. First off, Atlanta has to have the most ridiculous ideas for what is cool when it comes to their jerseys.
What? I like their jerseys.
No,
I think they're cool.
No, they're so weird.
Atlanta's Atlanta, bro.
But God, like I remember, like they went from I like the classic red and the black, and then they went to
I like
blue.
the little triangle looking crap they have,
and then they went to the blue for some random reason, like when Al Horford was there, which threw me off. Kind of. That was like the year that like.
Hey, well, no one's. Do you want to grab the rest of the beers?
Of course, yeah.
Thank
sure.
you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but no one's watching right now, so we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, but we are still recording though, dingus.
It's a podcast. So basically, I think that's super funny in a sense because, and someone brought this up before. Thank you, sir. The team you get drafted for, if you never played for them, you weren't really on that team, right? Because the worst argument I've ever had in the history of sports, the worst argument that ever came at me was that somebody told me that Kobe played for more than one team.
I was gonna ask, like, this had to have been a Kobe thing.
It was Kobe played for 2 teams because he got drafted by the Hornets. I said he literally got traded on draft night, and the argument against it was, oh, so he got traded, so now he was on 2 teams.
Why does that sound like you got in an argument with Dave?
It's not Dave. It's another stupid person that knows nothing about sports.
Okay.
But the whole point of the argument is, though, like, I don't think Melo deserves a jersey. I think you only get a jersey if you are getting ready for a game. Like, if we have a game and we're getting ready for a game, then you deserve a jersey. The fact that Carmelo Anthony got an Atlanta Hawks jersey is pathetic, and he should keep that jersey forever because he's a sham, and he hasn't been good since Denver.
So wait, what about like when Andrew Wiggins got drafted by the Cavs, and then they went through the whole introductory press conference, and then he got traded?
Timberwolf for life.
All right.
He's always been a Timberwolf. Unless you step on the court or something drastically happen. No, you have to play a game to be on that team. Now, obviously, there's players in the NBA that will like combat that and be like, no, like he was in our locker room and he was in our training room and he meant that, blah, blah. Bullshit, dude. Like, if you're not playing for that team on a game day where the jersey has to be made, I don't think it matters. So
that's a solid argument.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk about Conor McDaddy.
Oh boy,
he back. Conor McGregor is back. Conor McGregor is fighting
Habib Nurmagomedov.
Thank you, that guy. Conor McGregor obviously hasn't fought since the Mayweather bout, right?
He has not. No.
God, that's crazy.
It is. Like, how long ago was that? It had to have been
2 years. It's like 2 years.
It was not 2 years since the Floyd Mayweather fight. No way.
Googling.
You're Googling it? Okay.
The whole point of that thing was that I think it was around 2 years.
I mean, it might have been 2 years since he last fought in the octagon, but there is no way it's been 2 years since he last fought. Because I'm pretty sure that Mayweather fight was at least less than a year. Had to have been.
You think?
Less than a year? Yeah, had to have been.
All right, hold on. I'm Googling things.
But the fact that he is now returning to the octagon says a lot, because I really thought he was never going to return.
Really?
Never.
Oh, I knew he was going to return. It's too much money.
I think he literally played his hand the best he could and was going to ride off into the sunset with his beautiful wife, beautiful son, and just live the life of luxury and never have to fight again.
Why can't I figure? Apparently, there's been a lot of talk with Floyd Mayweather Sr. We'll look it up later. Long story short, Conor McGregor's finally back in the UFC. I'm telling you right now, I have never seen in sports a personality like this since primetime Deion Sanders. I think I mean, has there been another personality this, like, in your face? I know how good I am. I know what I am, and I back it up like this since Sanders. Maybe. Maybe T.O.
I was gonna say T.O. would have been a good argument. Maybe Dennis Rodman, just because of personality wise.
Yeah, but he wasn't Dennis Rodman wasn't the same kind of like crap talker. If you look, Dennis Rodman was a weird ass dude.
He was a good defender. He backed it up.
Great defender.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, he didn't walk around thinking he was the greatest thing ever. He was just weird. He was just super weird.
That's how he got in people's heads, though, to be fair.
True.
But no, like, I really am quite serious. I did not think that McGregor was ever going to fight again. I really thought that he just kind of
Kevin, no. Chad Johnson did not back up his smack talk. Ocho's, he was a Pootie Tang wide receiver, Kevin. He was good. He talked smack.
You did not just drop Pootie Tang on this podcast.
He's a Pootie Tang wide receiver.
Oh, my God.
I love you, Kevin. Herd chef. Pootie Tang wide receiver. Numbers great. Played great. Hurt the Steelers a lot. But in the aspect of, like, Deion Sanders to Conor McGregor, it's not really on the spectrum for me. Yeah.
I love when people hear this back on the podcast. They're going to be like, why the hell did he just go off on a tangent?
Yeah,
like that?
Sorry, podcast listeners. So I've come to the term that we're just going to do a lot more live videos, and the podcast will come with that as well. Podcast listeners, Kevin Klingon-Smith, my old chef at Six Man Kitchen, said Chad Johnson in the comments. I disagree if you can't tell.
Clearly.
So, love you. So let's talk a little bit more about Conor himself. Like, I see him as an icon. I see him as I'm not going to say our Ali, because what Ali did for the fact of community service and things like that is way, way different. That's like, he's a different animal. But in the smack talking realm, Conor McGregor might be the greatest artist we've seen almost ever. Like, realistically, Conor McGregor, when it comes to getting in your head, when it comes to transitioning sports. Like Conor McGregor should not have boxed. That is literally like,
oh no, he followed the money. He absolutely did. So I mean,
Well,
I don't
it's like-
blame him, but like at the end though, I mean,
it's
like
like
he followed the
telling
money.
a horse to race me, but the horse can't use 3 of its legs.
That
You
was
know what I
what-
mean? Like, honestly, like I'm not even kidding around. Like Conor McGregor is a full-fledged athlete. And podcasters, I apologize. Kevin says just his attitude, not the results. Agreed. His attitude was Conor McGregor level.
Yes.
His results, booty tang. Who else is in that smack talking around, Greg?
In terms of smack talk, wow. Off the top of my head, it's tough because I'm thinking of like UFC guys.
Think of anybody.
Brock Lesnar's kind of there when you think about it.
Yeah, but
A
the whole
lot
you
of
know what
smack
what
talking.
throws it off for
Lot
me?
of
The
smack
fact that
talking.
he has a guy do his smack talking in the WWE.
That's
throws
different.
it.
That's
I know it is.
different.
I know it is. But I combine the two when I think of it. I'm like, all right, where's Paul? Like,
I don't know, man. When I saw
Paul?
him just go off on DC after that fight, I like immediately my appetite was just wet after
Also,
that.
I'm kind of annoyed with Brock Lesnar. How do you step away from WBE to go UFC, and then you come back and you just get all these title chances, and then you step away from UFC and you come back and you get to fight DC? That's annoying to me.
Honestly, and this is something that drives me nuts with the UFC. The UFC is one of the worst organizations when it comes to developing stars.
Okay.
It is. Because if you look at it, their big 3 draws,
Hi, Matt.
their big 3 draws are essentially Conor, Ronda,
Yeah.
and Brooke. 2 of them are in WWE, and
I see.
and one of which also every time he
Well-
fights tests for positive for steroids.
I think the thing you're missing in the sense of the UFC is that the UFC money-wise is doing better than it ever has due to investors, but the
Yes.
UFC talent-wise has never been as good as it was with Anderson Silva, Forrest Griffin,
No.
George St. Pierre, BJ Penn, Matt Hughes, Matt Miller, all these guys that were just insane. That was the greatest era of fighting ever. I mean, I'd combat it even in boxing. I'd say the guys you had in the UFC at that time, back when Uriah Faber wasn't in the UFC, Uriah Faber was one of the baddest dudes on the planet before he came into the UFC.
WEC featherweight champion. Yeah.
I will like to add, cheers. Matt is having a beer with us. Every time someone is saying they're having a beer with us, we're going to cheers. And Matt, cheers to you, my friend. I enjoy that. That's
I
gonna
love
be a
these
new
glasses.
thing. Yeah, no free sponsors.
Nope.
So let's get out of Conor McGregor. Let's talk a little bit about. We're about a half hour into the show. We got another half hour left. I want to talk about NFL.
Mhm.
Preseason starts tonight. I am most excited tonight because I'll be watching the Steelers game to see my boy Bucky Hodges play. Does he actually play?
You are
Who actually does? I
really
don't know.
on this
I don't know.
Bucky Hodges
So,
thing, man.
for anybody watching, basically, Bucky Hodges was a rookie tight end 2 years ago that I ranked top 5 out of the draft. He went to Minnesota, didn't really pan out. The Steelers just picked him up. He is our most talented wide receiver on paper. McDonald and Jesse James have seniority. They have a good tie.
I've also
with Ben.
I've loved Xavier Grimble too, man.
Grimble's been a good tight end.
He
He's
was
not great.
he was a 5-star recruit out of high school, man. He barely got any
So
playing
was
time.
Rex Burkhead.
Barely got any playing time at USC, which was bullshit. But
Wow, we're on Facebook. Don't swear. My mom watches this. Notice how I've not been swearing and said we could swear on Twitch, and you just come out here with timeout. You're in timeout.
all right.
So, anyways, the things we're looking forward to tonight. There's a couple quarterback battles happening for the Steelers, but the big news right now: Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley going at each other. Are you out of timeout? Basically,
All right,
what it comes
thanks.
down to is the fact that Baker Mayfield is apparently getting 2 quarters in this Browns-Giants game. Saquon Barkley, I would not even play him in
No.
the preseason at
No.
all, ever.
Nope.
I am in the camp that no rookie quarterback or top player should get more than maybe a series in the preseason because there's just so much that can happen. And I'm in the camp, too,
Time out.
that what?
Define rookie quarterback. You're legit saying 1 series. So like guys who are drafted like 3rd or 4th round would only get 1 series.
No, obviously, I mean top tier.
Okay. Fine.
No, like Luletta for the Giants. He
Oh.
should play every single series. He's trying to earn a spot.
Okay.
Yeah, good clarification. That's a good point. Basically, Rosen, Darnold should not, play more than a couple series. It's a big thing of like, dude, injuries are real and they're annoying. And basically, you're putting your future, like if I'm the Jets and I have Sam Darnold, I'm putting my next 15 years on the field against a team of practice squad guys that are just trying to make a roster.
Right, and those practice squad guys could literally look to make a name off themselves.
It's like going to the YMCA and being like, all right, well, I got work tomorrow, and that guy doesn't have work tomorrow, and that guy takes out your knee, and now you have to limp through work because that guy's a piece of crap.
It was like the year Johnny Manziel and Michael Sam were both rookies.
Yes.
And Michael Sam had 2 sacks against Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
That's literally what this is like. I don't know if I agree with you when it comes to rookie quarterbacks, though, because the best case scenario that we've both said this when it comes to that is that we do not want a rookie quarterback playing at all during the
if you draft a quarterback high, we're talking about like first or second round guys that you are investing a future in. They should not play year one, barring massive injury or barring them being Carson Wentz.
Right. So, but it's the same time though. Like if you're playing in preseason, I feel like they need something. You can't just like only have them play a series.
Why? They're not going to play for another year. Patrick Mahomes is the perfect example.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes is the perfect example of how to make a quarterback great.
How much did Patrick Mahomes play in preseason?
How much did he, Greg?
I don't know, but I'm assuming it's more.
So none. I'm going with none, Greg.
All right, fine.
The whole point is I don't like to play my future. And here's what I'll say, though. Nobody's starting their practice squad guys the first quarter. Play them for a couple drives. Get them out of there. Because end of the second, third, and fourth quarter, you're basically putting guys in there that haven't made the roster. And you're looking, you know, like in I guess a series, I mean a quarter. Let's flat out meet at a quarter.
First quarter is usually for like the first and second game. It's like rookies and backups,
and it's reps, and it's more about reps. It's not about making a roster.
Yes,
you start playing guys like, and I'm gonna bring up Darnold because, and I'd bring up Rose and Jackson in my mind. Lamar Jackson's the one guy that he will get more reps because I think he'll play this year in Flacco's butt.
He also needs a lot of reps, though, to, like, acclimate himself better.
You think?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know. Looking at Lamar Jackson, I saw, like, I didn't watch all of the Hall of Fame game. I saw bits of it. There were just times he just didn't look comfortable.
I will say the past 2 years at Louisville, he was the most comfortable quarterback I've ever seen.
I think
so. That carries over in my mind. Now, obviously, I don't work for an NFL team. I sit at a desk, drink beer, and no free ads. That's a mistake on my part. But the whole point is, like, yeah, Lamar Jackson can play at the next level. We all know that. But I'm not playing Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen or the Mason Rudolph will get reps. Mason Rudolph will get reps, though, because we drafted Josh Dobbs last year and we have Landry Jones. Now, if you look at the Steelers as a whole, it's annoying for me to assume that Landry's going to be around. Landry's gone. Josh Dobbs
he's got one more year off, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying he's out after that. Josh Dobbs is an underappreciated, talented quarterback that does not get the credit he deserves. Mason Rudolph is, quote unquote, the future. I don't like Mason Rudolph. I like him as a human being, sure. As a quarterback, I'm sure he's fine. I'm in the Josh Dobbs camp of the fact that he can be a 3 to 5 year bridge between Ben and our next Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't think Mason Rudolph is a Hall of Fame quarterback, but we've also been very spoiled in Pittsburgh with Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So.
That's very true. And
Tommy Maddox.
You also got XFL Hall of Fame. I think that especially when you look at it, there were some dark times between Roethlisberger and Bradshaw, though.
There were.
Yeah, we had like I think 15 years without a legit Hall of Fame style quarterback. So it's a real
we
thing.
sufficed with Cordell.
We did.
There was Tommy for a little bit. Who else was in there? There was another quarterback in that little mix with Ben and Tommy Maddox that I can't think of. The whole point of though is that like we have been spoiled in Pittsburgh with winning franchises. So it's tough to think about not winning. And I think Josh Dobbs gives us the best bet coming up in the future to win. That's just it for me.
That's fair. But looking at Josh Dobbs, how much work do you think he needs before he's at that starter level?
I think technically he's at starter level now.
Okay.
I think he is one of the top 40 best quarterbacks on the planet. And I think that's what you need as a starter.
He could naturally like fall into that same realm that Tyrod Taylor and Case Keenum did, where they sat for literally like maybe 4 years.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, when he was at Tennessee, going into his senior year, he is an astronaut. Going into his senior year, I picked him to win the Heisman because of his ability. Now, I talked to him at the Antonio Brown charity softball game his rookie year. I said, hey, man, like, big fan. He said, thank you. I said, I thought you were going to win the Heisman at Tennessee last year. His answer back to me was, So did I, and I should have.
That's confidence right there.
What that meant to me, though, is like, one, he's saying he didn't have the team that we thought he would have without throwing him under the bus, which is great.
Tennessee never has the team we always expect them to have, though.
Honestly, he is what I anticipated him to be. Like, Dak Prescott is what I thought he would be. Okay. I thought Josh Dobbs would step into an offense, be able to command that offense, be able to run with it. I mean, I think his ceiling is Alex Smith, but that's not a bad ceiling.
Alex Smith? I mean? No, absolutely not. Some people don't like Alex Smith, but Alex Smith is literally the poster child when it comes to consistency. Like, if you had Alex Smith as like a bridge quarterback, I wouldn't hate that at all.
So I just got a text from my boy. I work with him. He's from Cleveland.
Okay.
Just texted me a tweet. I'm going to read you the tweet first, and then we'll talk about the player. For real, ... I wouldn't mind playing for the Browns, ... I just want to write first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Dez Bryant.
Oh, Jesus.
Apparently, Dez Bryant does not mind playing for the Browns.
Well, I mean, after the rant that Jarvis Landry went on the rest of the wide receivers, they might as well get some more blood in there.
So, before we get too deep, we've been talking about NFL for a while, Greg. What's going on? Like,
I'm sorry, I just kind of wanted.
We're gonna bounce back to NFL.
I wanted to get your thoughts on this real quick. Did you watch the Hall of Fame at all?
Bits and pieces, yeah.
You didn't see the speeches, like all of them?
No. I just watched the game.
See, I
love Ray Lewis, love Randy Moss. I watched theirs on YouTube. That was pretty much it.
Brian Dawkins' speech was amazing. Very, very, very amazing. What a lot of people credit him for is that he gave a very, very passionate speech when it comes to mental health.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it essentially kind of gave the belief that, you know, as athletes, we think of them as like these superhuman individuals, but you have to remember they're also humans.
I love Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, they're humans.
Yeah, honestly, we do kind of football is our age gladiator, and I think we do take that for credit sometimes. But at the same time, hit the guy, just hit him.
Yeah,
hit him.
But no, like the entire Hall of Fame was great. Ray Lewis,
agreed.
as much slack as we give Ray Lewis, though, I could watch him talk for
he also stabbed someone, but yeah, good football player.
He did. And then Randy Moss's was amazing.
Yeah, Randy Moss is the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
The GOAT person.
Not the wide receiver. I actually saw when looking at this that this was this might have been one of the better Hall of Fame classes ever based on all pros and Pro Bowl
100%
validations. Yeah.
Now, if you don't cheat and use antler extract, there's a couple less years on the was. But
although the one thing that I didn't like, and I noticed this, Brian Urlacher was very.
You know, he was a safety.
Brian Urlacher?
Yeah, dude.
I remember like very briefly about that. Yeah,
he was drafted as a safety.
He like bulked up a lot to be a linebacker. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, and a lot of people look at Brian Dawkins when they were listening to his speech. He woke up in the middle of the night to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches so he could gain weight.
Me too, but not to gain weight. I just get hungry. Like don't touch me. All right, I want to stretch off. I can't remember what I was going to stretch off about before we got to NFL.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, what's new in baseball? This is the segment
where you go pee.
No, this is the segment where I just leave because I don't like baseball. Talk about baseball.
All right. So for a lot of people who are aware, this last week was the trade deadline. I kind of went into a little bit of detail about that. But in terms of what's going on now when it comes to baseball, big story is obviously the American League East, where it is a battle between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox for supremacy. Whoever wins is going to win the division. Whoever doesn't is going to get the first wild card, which is a shame because when you look at it, both teams are on pace to go to 101 wins. Think of that really carefully. 101 wins. Both teams in the same division. Almost unheard of. And the main reason that that's happening is honestly, well, first off, the Baltimore Orioles are in that division and they suck. I apologize for anyone who's an Orioles fan, clearly, but what can you do about it? The Boston Red Sox probably have one of the best offenses I've ever seen. The lineup is amazing. Mookie Betts, JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, all these guys, they're fantastic. And then the Yankees have probably one of the best, cleanup guys I've ever seen, and their rotation's pretty good. So it's going to be a long season. Playoffs are just around the corner, and I can't wait.
Baseball ever. Baseball sucks.
There you go.
So did anyone see the video of Kelvin Benjamin and Rookies just played the Pirates. Rockies just played the Pirates. Oh, thank you, Matt Christopher, for bringing that up. The Rockies play the Pirates. Matt is out in Denver. Andres Torres says, Eagles gonna beat the Steelers in tonight per usual. I mean, that's not really per usual, Dre.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of Cam Newton and Kelvin Benjamin exchanging words?
Yeah, I saw that. Kelvin Benjamin basically kind of bashed him because they said he was held back.
Kelvin Benjamin's a douche. Kelvin Benjamin basically said, if I was drafted by any other team, I'd have a better start to my career. At the same time, though, Kelvin, you gained like 30 pounds before camp and expected to come in as a wide receiver 1.
He did.
Get out of here. You also drop passes. Cam Newton is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He throws it in your hands, and you drop them. You're a bum.
The best response I got from that was Greg Olson.
What did he? I didn't even see what he said.
Greg Olson literally said that Cam Newton is the entire reason I'm an All-Pro.
Cam Newton's the entire reason Kelvin Benjamin, we know his name.
I rest my case. Like, literally, Greg Olson is probably one of the best tight ends in football because Cam Newton targets him so often.
Now, I would say Greg Olson was good before Cam.
He was.
But he wasn't the same Greg Olson.
No. Big difference. I will even attest to that if it wasn't for Cam Newton, Greg Olson would not be as good as he is. And he even admits that. So that says a lot right there. And that's great,
Greg.
backing up
Greg's
the quarterback.
your guy. I want to talk about this real quick. So we have a couple things written down. I'm going off schedule. If you had to, aside from Greg Olson, who is your guy when it comes to fantasy football? Because everyone has a my guy. Like, obviously, you target Greg.
I love
this
Greg Olson.
Year, who's the guy you're putting the Greg, like your Greg, stamp on? You're saying, bam, this guy's going to be great. I don't care what you think. Going with this guy.
It's literally funny that you say that because you're talking about Greg Olson and I'm Greg.
You are Greg.
I am Greg. In terms of my guy that I'm going,
your guy, Greg,
that I'm going to be targeting no matter what, it's kind of tricky, but just because of how consistent he's been, and I know the quarterback situation is going to be a weird there. Larry Fitzgerald, man.
Larry Fitzgerald is the greatest wide receiver on a whole scale of competition I've ever seen play.
Yes.
Now, Antonio Brown is obviously much more talented when it comes to right now and his ability to catch.
Right.
But Larry Fitzgerald is, in my mind, the greatest wide receiver I've ever seen play. And I think that's kind of flat out obvious.
Literally, the problem is just the fact that he hasn't had a quarterback to throw to him. That's the main reason.
I mean, Kurt Warner, Carson Palmer have been his two big-name quarterbacks.
Carson Palmer
obviously was a beaten dog after what happened with him at the Bengals.
Right.
But he did have Kurt Warner. But, like, Larry Fitzgerald is, in my mind, the best receiver I've ever seen play. And at the end of Antonio Brown's career, I'll go back to that take, but that's it.
Looking at him, he is going to get the majority of the targets in that entire offense, even with...
Oh, easy. But you know who makes me love Larry Fitzgerald more than Larry Fitzgerald?
Who?
Christian Kirk.
Oh, you do love Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk is my guy, not for fantasy this year, but in the NFL. He is a wide receiver that is drafted by the Cardinals with Rosen. I think that's a 1-2 punch. Coming out of Texas A&M, he's a wide receiver that bangs, bro, and he has a year to sit behind arguably the greatest wide receiver of a generation in the same position. Kirk will line up differently than he's comfortable with, but when Fitz retires, Kirk is the slot guy, and I believe that's why he was my pick, and he was the dude I wanted. There was 3 guys in Dynasty I wanted. Him, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
And you got all of them.
I got all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because everyone in my league sucks. Shout out to Matt Paris-Luca and Andre Fry.
Oh, such a burn right there. You're even bringing Dre in tomorrow for a fantasy show.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk smack then, too.
Yeah.
Guys, make sure you, again, this is the Two Beers Deep podcast. Thank you for viewing, commenting, everybody that participated. Thank you for listening, reviewing, subscribing. We do have the TFTB Fantasy Football Show, which is a show that we will get started next week doing, not daily next week, but starting at the end of August, we will be doing daily episodes. It'll mainly just be myself giving updates, but we'll also have interviews with Dre, Greg, and Commissioner Sluke if he ever shows up, because he is a commissioner and has a lot of things going. He's getting married. So,
that's a priority. Come on.
Yeah, just get married. Just shut up and get married, Matt.
Go to the courthouse.
Just shut up and get married, Sluke.
It's not that hard.
Yeah. I can get married today. I'll go get married today.
Yeah.
So let's talk, Greg, about busts. What do you define as a bust, Greg? Because I gave Greg the definition, a TFTB bust But what do you define as a bust, man?
In terms of bust, so if he's a
Shout out to Fraser McKinley. Dingus.
so I look at bust in two different ways. Like if it's a rookie that we have high expectations for and he just doesn't produce, I'd call him a bust. I would also call a bust someone who had a regression in terms of stats from one year to the next.
Yeah, I mean, a bust basically, what it comes down to is a bust term means that he hit lower than his projection, which is kind of what it is. Who were guys in the AFC, NFC? We only got like 10 minutes left, so let's just do players, not teams.
Okay.
Who's your bust, AFC, NFC?
AFC, NFC? Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of NFC, I'm going to say Kirk Cousins.
Ooh.
Main reason is because looking at him, first off, he's going to be asked to do less in that offense. So I feel like in terms of stats, it's going to go downwise. I feel like he's
they have a better defense and a better run game than the Skins had, but he's still Kirk, bro.
Yeah, but he's
still Kirk Cousins. In
terms of fantasy, he would be a bust because of the fact that
I get what you're saying in the sense of his relevance. I am a Kirk Cousins truther, is why I'm upset.
You're a Kirk Cousins truther?
Every day.
All right, I like that. Okay, and then in terms of AFC, I'm thinking about this. I feel so bad because I like him a lot, but I feel like he's going to fight with his new head coach literally every day of the week, Derek Carr.
Really?
Yeah. The main thing that I look at in terms of the Raiders, I think they're going to I love their team, but at the same time, though, I feel like he's just going to fight and butt heads with Gruden way too much this year. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like, I just do.
Why would they butt heads?
Because I feel like they have two different types of personality. Derek Carr is a very, like, cool, calm, and collected type of quarterback who kind of, like, he's a leader, but yet he's also someone that you can rally behind and stuff. Gruden is one of those guys that I feel like is just going to...
So you're saying your two busts in the entire NFL are Carr and Cousins?
Compared to what they did, yeah. In terms of expectations, yes. Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to the podcast listener. Max, I am a Kirk Cousins truther. I think Kirk Cousins is high type and green. Nice to see you here. Just 50 minutes late. I think Kirk Cousins is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL talent-wise. And the fact that they got him after they drafted RG3 blows my mind.
That's the key, though, talent-wise.
Agreed, but, like, we'll see. We'll see. Those are great picks, Greg. Quality picks. Terrible.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, not at all.
No.
I thought you knew football. Gruden is an asshat. Gruden is not an asshat, Kevin. Gruden is a god. Gruden is a god. He's a god.
All right. Who are your busts then?
So my one bust is I'm gonna go with, based on his ADP, Russell Wilson. And the reason, and after I just reamed you out,
I feel like that's a cheap out though. It is.
What? He's the top. He's been a.
Look at the team they have around him though.
Dude,
Look
Russell
at the
Wilson
team.
has not been outside of the top 5 quarterbacks since he joined the league.
But the problem is that
what if they had league-wise? What if they had that's good in the league? Name their great rosters that he's had aside from Marshawn Lynch.
I was gonna say Jimmy Graham, but no,
He was poop.
Yeah, he was. Fuck. Okay.
Run game poop. Offensive line poop. He had a great defense.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll pick. No.
I'm just saying like that.
Stop screaming in the mic.
That strikes me.
You're upset.
That strikes me as like such a
fine.
cop-out.
It's a cop out. Let's go here.
All right.
ADP wise, my number one bust is the entire Miami Dolphins offense, and I get that might be a cop out as well. But I hate Devontae Parker. I hate Kenyon Drake.
You hate Kenyon Drake?
I think Kenyon Drake is an absolute bust.
Kenyon Drake's the entire reason that they traded Jay Ajayi, though.
Kenyon Drake's the entire reason they brought in Frank Gore.
That's fair too.
You know what I mean? Like I get it. I liked Kenyon Drake at Alabama. I thought he was a great special teams great guy. Kenyon Drake for me is a guy I'm not touching in fantasy or in the NFL this year. I just don't enjoy Kenyon Drake at all. So that was I'll repick my NFC.
Do you think it's also kind of like the idea that you have Tannehill now back as your quarterback, that he's not going to know what to do there?
I honestly just don't think Kenyon Drake's that good.
Okay.
Like, I get the volume he got, but you also have to think Kenyon Drake was the backup after Jay Ajayi got hurt to Damian Williams, who now is the 3rd string, I think, for the Texans.
Yeah, and then they drafted Kalen Ballage and they picked up Frank Gore. So, yeah, you're right. Like, Kenyon Drake might not get
I think he's being way overdrafted. So let's go back to the NFC. Let's repick. You know what? They're not really a bust. Let's go with, and I drafted him, so I don't even want to say this. A guy being overdrafted in fantasy leagues that I don't think will reach his potential is Alvin Kamara. I have stood on this podium. Now, I took him in Dynasty because there is something that goes down and something that goes up.
It's also Dynasty, though, so you're planning on
I have Kamara for years. The whole point of it is, though, Alvin Kamara is being drafted as a first-round running back. There is no way in heck, because we're on Facebook, not Twitch.
Apologies for that. Yeah, thank you.
Happens.
All right.
Drew Brees only throws 23 touchdowns. Like, Drew Brees is a first-ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. There is no way he throws the same numbers as last year. They had a two-headed monster that no one was prepared for. The only running back better than Alvin Kamara last year was Kareem Hunt. And people say Kamara was better, and I get it. But Kareem Hunt had an entire backfield. Kamara split with Ingram. That is a different animal. In itself, but my whole point about Kamara is that this year, Kamara will not produce the same numbers he did last year, even with the suspension with Ingram. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, because I took him in Dynasty. But the whole point is I want him for his career, not this year.
Which is the point of Dynasty, though. So, I mean, you were in the right for that, though.
So let's do our draft. Guys, what we do at the end of most of the shows, we do a draft. Matt, Christopher, the podcast happens once a week. We are now doing live shows for the podcast. Basically, guys, this draft, we got 5 minutes, nothing too crazy. We're doing Space Force, Trump, Space Force, Michael Pence, Space Force. Greg would like to do... go ahead, Greg. What is our draft?
Oh, this is a good one just because I heard it. So Space Force, for a lot of people who don't know, is now the new military arm that we are going to be
Which was already a military arm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that was kind of funny, actually.
I didn't either. But yeah, we are apparently putting zillions of dollars into developing a Space Force. All the zillions into developing Space Force now to defend us against whatever possible destruction and intergalactic stuff we'll eventually get.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Damn right. So
are we doing athletes or anybody's?
Let's do anybody.
All right.
Yeah. We're going to be picking a team of 5 individuals that we want to be the initial Space Force team.
Greg, you get first draft. Your pick. We're doing 5. Just it's a thing, man. Just let it go.
Just because, first off, my number 1 overall pick, because he's literally someone that I want to be the guy that will lead a team and is also just perfect for it. Dwayne Johnson.
Damn it! Greg, can you grab me my last beer?
What are you talking about? I gave you all the beers.
Yeah, no, I need another beer. Just
go
beer? Buy another beer.
I'm not buying another beer. You're just pissed that I got a good one.
You just got a ton of likes in this, and I'm very upset with that. Everyone that liked that, I hate you. All right, so you got the rock.
Cheers to you.
So basically, I'm looking at. I need a Space Force. Basically. So what you're looking at Space Force, you need a cap. So many angry faces.
That's great.
So you need your leader, your strong guy, your doctor, all these different pieces. Dang. You know what? All right. I got I'm gonna go Elon Musk.
Wow, okay.
I'm gonna go Elon Musk because I'm picking my nerd first. I'm gonna get my nerd out of the way. The rest are gonna be dope. Now, do I pick again? Do I get next?
Yeah, you get you too.
All right, just double checking.
All right.
So I got my nerd. It's like talking about Blue Mountain State. Nerd.
Gotta do the homework for the entire year.
So I need a guy. I need someone that's on the same level of. Thank you, Matt Christopher, for all the angry faces. I appreciate you. So I got my nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I got my nerd. That's I got the nerd. I need some muscle. I got guys, but man, you know what? I'm going flat out. I'm going with people that I know have been to space. I know guys that can fight the Rock. Going Dave Bautista.
Okay.
He's my muscle.
All right, I like it.
I want Dave Bautista.
Would he have to be in prosthetics the entire time?
He would not.
Okay.
You're up for your next pick.
Okay. Just because she's the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey.
Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, the reason I did not read your comment is because that is my next pick. I take Ric Flair.
Woo! Okay, explain to me, how in the world would he be perfect for Space Force?
Woo!
Oh, I have no response for that. That's great.
Thank you, Kevin. Greg, you're up for your next one.
Just
Stop commenting, people, guys. Drace said something that if you can't read, it's your own fault.
okay.
None of these guys will do good in space. First. All right, you're up for your next pick. Great pick, Andres. He can't match Ric Flair, but that's a
Oh
good
God.
pick.
Okay, just to be a guy who's gonna be a hothead, Conor McGregor,
Conor Mack.
Connie Mack
Mac
in
Daddy.
space. I like it. I got some badasses going on up there too. I can defend.
Yeah,
this
but you don't
from
got a
anyone.
nerd, so good
Oh
luck.
well.
All right. Space time beats Battlestar Galactica. I mean, I could pick another. I could just start taking nerds and screw you over.
Well, you could.
Kevin said, "Draft his hand."
They can void the internet. They can avoid the international incident essentially.
Ric Flair will not die on the way to space, Andre. Ric Flair will never die. Take that away. He is not 1,000 years old.
Have you seen how he's looked, man? It's kind of rough.
Wow, rude.
I'm just saying
he watches the show.
He's getting up there. Sorry, Rick. I love you.
So, all right.
Give me
so
Charlotte's
right now,
number by
Greg
chance.
has Dwayne Johnson, Ronda Rousey, Conor McDaddy. I got Elon Musk, Dave Bautista, Ric Flair. I'm going to go with, I feel like their characters embody themselves. Woo! Thank you, Andres. I feel like their characters embody themselves, right?
To an extent, yeah.
That's a tough one. Ronda Rousey was a good pick because I was thinking about her. But at the same time, I feel like there has to be something born inside Scarlett Johansson of the Black Widow. Going ScarJo. Ooh. Also,
That's
just
pretty great.
I mean, who knows how long you'll be in space? And she's a very attractive individual. So
Yeah, absolutely.
she's a beautiful woman.
Just because I need an international flavor and also another badass, Jason Statham.
I thought about him a lot, actually.
Mhm.
That's a good pick. I thought about him. But Dave Bautista, I don't know. There's something about being Drax the Destroyer that really. I'm going deep into these characters.
You are. You are. I'm
All right.
sure Dave Bautista could also handle being in space like the person.
I feel like, all right, so I feel like he puts up a good fight against Dwayne, but Jason Statham comes in. But at the same time, though, Ric Flair's Ric Flair.
The best characters are an extenuation of their actual
ScarJo.
personality.
Thank you, Andres. ScarJo. Thank you.
Mm.
So, all right, I got the nerd, got the chick, got the got Gandalf and Ric Flair. I got the muscle.
All right.
I need a leader.
You do.
I need a leader. Is Dwayne your leader?
Dwayne's absolutely my leader.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
So then you still no, Connor's your muscle too. I mean, Dwayne is your. You know what I mean?
Connor's my trash talker who's going to get shit started, essentially.
Who's a leader? Who is a leader that can provide? I gotta.
What?
I don't know. Do you ever? Okay, so you get to the point in the draft where you think of someone and you're like, "Nah, I don't want them," and that is the only person you can think of the entire time.
Yeah, that's when the
We do
beer.
these
That's
drafts-
when the beer starts kicking in.
Basically, guys, we do these drafts almost all the time, and it started at Six Man Kitchen. Shout out to Kevin Klingensmith. Back in the day, Seckley and I started this a ton because we were like, all right, we're bored. Let's draft point guards. Let's draft this and that. Let's draft blah, blah, blah. No, Andres, I am not thinking of Barack Obama. That is a good pick. That is a good idea. I'm thinking of a guy. I don't want to pick him, but I feel like I kind of have to.
What?
But at the same time, I'm going to take Will Smith as my leader.
Wow. Okay.
Because Men in Black, that dude killed some aliens, man.
He did.
That dude killed. All right, Greg, you're for your last pick, buddy.
Whew. Okay. In terms of my last pick, I need someone who's going to handle the international relations between another race.
Jason Statham.
No.
He's international.
He is international, but yeah, you know what? Shout out to Andres for giving me the pick. I'm going Barack Obama. Obama's going to be the nice peacekeeper. After the fighting, he'll eventually settle the stuff. Be like a nice little peacekeeper going on there.
Yeah, tell him to tell him to square up with Will Smith, and we'll start talking.
I mean, they're the same person, I thought.
What?
They look you just don't get it. God damn it. They look exactly the same.
All right, guys, this has been Two Beers Deep. Greg, Deke. You can check it out on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you get podcast. It goes out tomorrow morning. We were doing these Facebook Live videos every week, basically because we did Twitch for about a month and it was dumb.
Yeah.
So we're coming back to Facebook and we found out how to make the audio work. That is the key component.
We'll eventually get back on the Twitch when we realize that we can get some donations.
I think the biggest problem with everything we do is the fact that I now have to get up and shut off the laptop.
Yeah, it's extra work for you. How you feel? You're so sad right now.
Annoyed.
Yeah. Everyone on Facebook, thanks for joining us and checking us out. Follow us soon. Peace out. Yeah.